the one, the only Nicki Nick of One Love. And how you doing? I hope you're doing great, and I hope you're feeling beautiful. And I just pray all is well. Alright. So, I hope you've been catching up and having fun with my podcast. Listening to them as I had fun making them. But with this podcast, I want to chit chat with the fellas, with the women, with the fellas. And I want to talk about us women. What she mean? Okay, this is what I mean. I'm going to give some insights. Now, this is preferably a tip of the iceberg, because trust, I will be circling back around to the name of this podcast. And I truly, truly, truly hope that each and every one of you all likes it, enjoys it, and trust, this is not only for the young at heart, the young souls and minds, it's for everybody. Because some of this may be still a mystery to some people that's in their 70s or in their 60s or 50s, or I pray that it's not, but you just never know. So, are you ready? Because I think I'm ready. Okay. So, I would like to talk about tales of a woman. Intriguing, huh? I know. I like it. I love it. So what's up with that? Tales of a woman. Well, for a long time, different platforms, different things, I've always heard that women are so complex. Women are hard to understand. Women are hard to read. Women are wired one way and one way only. And I'm like, what? But as for me, I was hearing a lot of these things, and I was young. So for me, I could speak on it. But life and life's experience just really wouldn't allow me to. It just wanted me to sit back and watch. Take your notes. And I guarantee, maybe 5 or 10 years from now, I just may do a whole nother iceberg, tip of the iceberg version of this one, this very episode. You dig? Are you feeling me? You following? Okay. So, what's up with the title? you guys, not meaning the ladies, but come on, fellas, men, do y'all want to really, really know what's up with some of us females? Okay then. Get your notepads, get your recorders, download. Better yet, save this podcast to your device. This one right here. Because I think this is going to be something you could use. Now, us women, there's of course a variety of women, many different types and sources of women. Now, when looking, you have to know what you are looking at and what you are looking for. Because sometimes you can meet your twin flame, but it's not necessarily your twin flame and in a yin yang perspective, like you match. I mean, it could be your twin flame to the point if you cause havoc and just do rambunctious things, that's what she gonna do. That's what she does. But if you're looking for someone to bring and help center you, then that is not the person for you. Okay? You have to pay attention to a woman's intuition, to her discernment. A lot of times, us women, we try to fight the discernment, the intuition, because that nagging feeling, it doesn't feel good. And when we bring it up, it's to be like a forewarn. Hey, this is possible that it could happen. This is the direction it's going in, and it's not good. Change your path. It's not to dictate, control your outcome. It's to help. It's just all in how you accept it, how you take the information. Now, I just tapped on the feelings of a woman. That's what intuition is. It's a feeling. Now, it's time to move to the head of a woman, her mind. The mind is something that is beautiful. It's beautiful on both men and women. And when you openly allow great things to come into your mind, it could be of passion, It could be of conversation. It could be of relaxation. It could be of meditation. It could be of religion. But your mind is a gate to your body. It is your information gateway. It is your gateway, one of your gateways of your emotions. The logical part of your emotions. So I'm going to go back to the heart, but I got to bring the heart in right quick. Well, your heart says, how do you feel about this person? That's when the mind begins to calculate. What are the ways that you feel about this person? Explain to yourself, why do you feel this way? That's what your mind does. Now, if you already have all of these wonderful things about this person, listen, guys, if you have all of these wonderful things, she has nothing but great things. She's not putting you on a pedestal. No. But she view you. She see you as you. She sees you as the person of who you are, of who you want to be, and who you can be. She sees you in many forms of yourself. She sees you in many transitions of yourself. She doesn't see you in just one form. It's almost like a kaleidoscope type of effect. She sees so many of you, but it's almost like the growth of a butterfly. The state, yes, that's it. She sees you in stages of a butterfly. That's how she sees you. Now, if during those times you are chipping away at what she's already seen in her mind, and you slowly but surely begins to change what is in her head by words and actions and things that you are not taking into consideration, the stages of a butterfly is there, but now what once used to make her smile has question marks, makes her sad, makes her confused. Now, I'm going to take a moment and let you think about that part. Just a moment. Okay. Let's move on down. Visual. The eyes. I'm going to do this combined. The eyes and the mouth. What in the world do a woman see? Well, some women, they go through different things. So, what one may see as a true companionship, another woman may see as a supporter. Another woman may see as you feel like a father figure. Another woman may feel you have great business etiquette. These are examples. Another woman may say you have skills of a father, of a man that she put together. And then you have those sets of women. I think most, if not majority of women, has a list that they go by, that they check off. See, nobody's perfect. But see, to some women, if you check off every spot on their mental or physical paper list of things, then you're perfect for them. And still, at that very moment, you're still not perfect. Now, that's what the women has to realize. Because no one on this earth is perfect. A perfect match, you could say that. A great match is a better way of saying it. But when a woman is looking at a man, sometimes she looks at what can you do to not only benefit her, but to benefit yourself. Because simply, she could be an independent, strong, like a strong, independent person. But she's looking at, okay, she enjoys your company. She enjoys your motivation of yourself, how you view yourself, how you see life, how you see things happening. So, in that point, fellas, you guys, if she's already strong-headed, independent, you gotta look at this. Now, I know she can do these things by herself. What can I bring to the table so that we both can continue to enjoy each other? Her independence should never be an imitation, an intimidation to you. Let me repeat that one more time, because I need for that one to stick. I need all of this to stick, but I want this to stick. Her strong-willed, independent nature should never intimidate you. If that intimidates you, that is not the woman for you. Her being independent should show a quality of this. She's independent. Some guys have an old-fashioned mind, as in a woman should be at home barefoot, bearing kids, cooking and cleaning. Even though this world we live in, the economy says you could be an old-fashioned thinker if you want. You and that woman needs to go out and work. So by her having that independent personality, charisma, just all of that above, it should show you that not only could she be at home like that? But she can also handle a work ethic side. She can handle finances. That's only if she's not a shopaholic. Or she doesn't have an addiction of some sort, like alcoholism, using drugs. If she doesn't do nothing like that, she can handle her finances. If she's a woman who is better in her education so that she can continue to grow in the work field, y'all, what's the phrase? You struck gold. Because life is applying pressure. And you keep applying pressure, you're going to get a beautiful, precious, yeah, I think it's a pearl. Look, y'all, if I'm getting it mixed up, charge it to the heart. But just know, you got something that's rare. And what about the women, he wants to know, that are clingy, who are needy? Okay. You have to, what's the best way to put it? A clingy, needy woman. Are you willing to talk? Is she willing to talk? Maybe she's talking and revealing why she's clingy or needy. Are you listening? Are you picking up the subtle hints? You can't, or you shouldn't, bomb rush the questions. Why are you so clingy? If that's something that you don't like, or you thought it could be cute, and you don't like it, ask her, is this your personality? How can you be involved in other things and then we come back and we cling to each other? It's an underlying way of talking and communicating that has to play a part. Then you have the women that they say are the ride or die chicks. They'll do any and everything with and for their man. I mean, hey y'all, they even got a show about it called For My Man. Comes on TV One. Not advertising it. I'm just letting you know that this particular thing that I'm talking about, it happens. These are the women that I feel like they loses themselves. They loses their identity. And it's just, they feel like they can go against anything. Now, applying that type of mindset and attitude towards a business, a legitimate business, to family-oriented goals, stuff like that. Okay, I can see that. Now, men, if you're not in that type of life commitment, ride or die type of style, leave those ride or die type of chicks alone. Okay. Tales of a woman. What do we see when we look at the man? Some see growth. Some sees admiration. Some sees healing. Some sees growth. Some sees stability. A lot sees love. Some continues to see hurt. Now, men, it's many different things that a woman may see. But how are you going to address it and approach it and nurture it? Now, I got to kind of move on down some to the mouth. That little lethal thing. That mouth is just as lethal as a slingshot, as a belt. It's just lethal. But it can be just as sweet as sugar, as thick as honey, as soft as a rose petal. If you get kissed by the right one, as warm as a socket to me cake that just came out the oven. All right now. Now, you probably saying, Nicki, I don't want that lethal part of the mouth. All of those nice things you were saying, how I get that? You gotta backtrack from the eyes, backtrack to the mind. You remember like on a number graph when you have to count and you have to draw the line going backwards or going forward? Okay, so you gotta go backwards. Go up from the eyes, then back to the mind. You gotta nurture the mind. Because what you continue to put into the mind is what's going to come out that mouth. Okay? And see, this is the example like this. Before they changed up these vending machines. The vending machines from like the 90s and the early 2000s. If you kept putting dollars in the vending machine and you kept saying change back, you wasn't getting back a paper dollar. You was going to get back a change dollar. Now, here's the funniest catch. In some cases, instead of you getting back 4 quarters if you put $1 in, sometimes you could get back 3 quarters, 2 dimes, and a nickel. Still not quite what you want, because you could handle the 4 quarters, but now You done got 2 dimes and a nickel. Still equals a quarter. Just in a different form. So, what I'm saying, what you put in to her, if it's good or bad, is what's gonna come out of that mouth. You put good in, good is gonna come out. You put bad, you put hurt, pain, anything like that, that's what's gonna come out the mouth. Telling you, tales of a woman. What you gonna do with these tales? No. All right. Let's move on down to the hearts. That heart does a lot of things, doesn't it? I mean, it keeps you alive. It lets you know if you're feeling something excited. It lets you know if you're feeling scared, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling angry. If you was a teenager and you got a crush and made you feel like you was in a marching band, along with the bats that was flapping around in your stomach. The heart just lets you know a lot of things. But it's a lot of value. It's valuable things. Are you with me? What do you do with valuable things? You're supposed to take care of it, right? If you just go to the car lot and you just brought you the newest Escalade, Cadillac Escalade, an off-white color, at least I don't think, you're not about to take that Escalade mud riding. Come on now. You're gonna take care of it. I mean, see if you got an old truck or if a buddy got an old truck and you're gonna take that thing mud riding, but you ain't about to take your new car that you just got off the lot. Some people, they'll take that new vehicle through the car wash at least twice a day. But that's what I'm saying. You got a heart of a woman. She has the heart of a man. What are y'all going to do? Are you going to protect it, nurture it? Or are you just going to take it mud riding? I'm going to take a moment right here. I'm still talking about tales of a woman, but I want to tell a story about something that I've done. And this is all about what you put in and what you get out, or what you can get out in nurturing. Okay. So, my family enjoys planting and gardening. And I think I might have been 11 or 12. And my dad, he had these tomatoes. And he was like, these are some good tomatoes right here. He said, but this one right here, it had messed up. I said, let me get it. He said, what you gonna do with it? I said, I'm gonna replant it. He said, that tomato ain't no good. I said, you know what? We ain't no betting type of family. But if we were, I will bet you $1 that if this tomato even produce one good tomato, I'll get that $1 from you. My dad looked at me, he grinned. He said, you know what? I'll give you this tomato. And I said, and I'm not going to plant it where yours is at. He said, no, because I want to see if it's going to grow. You find you a spot. You let me know that this is where you planting it at. And I said, I know the rest. I said, I just got to make sure it gets watered. And I'm watching. Okay. So I had my little spot. Well, I found the spot. Now, I'm a firm believer of talking to your plants. It can be your flowers. If you have a garden, talking to your veggies or fruits, talking to your trees. Because even as a little girl, we live by trees. And I love talking to the trees. I mean, it's part of nature. It's part of God's creation. And it just brings a sense of peace. No, I'm not crazy, y'all. But if any of you all who listens to my podcast do planting or gardening, give it a try. Talk to the things that you are planting. Talk to them lovingly. Even if you want to give them a name, name them. If you don't want to name them, give them a compliment. Call them your babies and watch how they flourish. That's a Nicki Nick One Love tip for you. All right. So, as I was walking to go find me a spot, I'm just talking through this tomato. Yeah, it was messed up some kind of bad. It kind of looked like some of those tomatoes you see in the store that you know the people who's working in produce know that they should pull them. But it was kind of worse than those. The seeds, like it was busted open and all of that. It was overripe. That's the best way to put it. Overripe. And I said, poor tomato. I said, look, I don't know why my dad don't think you can regrow and be just as flourish as the ones he brought in. I said, but with God's help, you're going to show him. And you're going to grow and you're going to produce so many tomatoes. I probably won't know what to do. See, that moment, I spoke something over that tomato plant. I was just encouraging the tomato. Now, not realizing that those very words will surely come to pass. Now, with that tomato, I dug a hole. I took some water from the inside and when I felt like the hole was deep enough, I said, okay, I'm gonna make sure I put everything that's right here in the hole. Because some people don't realize tomatoes have seeds on the inside. So, with the tomato being overly ripe plus the seeds, it basically had its own food. I can't think of I guarantee y'all, when I get to the end of this podcast, I'm gonna remember the word for what I'm saying. But basically, it had what it needed to kickstart its growth. And I covered it up, made sure I water it. I didn't overwater it, but I made sure I water it. I said, now I need to put something to mark it. And then I showed my dad. I was like, look, this is where it's going to be at. He said, okay. And so I kept watching it, kept watering it. And then it began to rain. I was like, oh goodness, it's raining a lot. I hope it don't kill my plant. And then I thought about it, I was like, no, because nature's water is just as good, if not better. So I started looking. My tomato began to sprout. Then I kept watching. It kept growing. I stood outside by my plant. I did a little happy dance. I said, it's growing, it's growing. I said, grow, baby, grow. Yes, y'all, I was young. And finally, my dad, he caught something that I had missed. Because I was like, I feel like I was over checking it. So I said, I'm going to wait a little bit before I go back and check it. But see, my dad, he always checks on his garden, and he was checking my plant out as well. He told me, he said, come and take a look at your plant. I said, oh my goodness. My plant had grew, and it started having some little baby tomatoes on it. It was so full. I couldn't believe it. I said, see, I told you. And that's all he could do was smile. He said, yeah, you did. He said, let them stay on out here a little bit and let them turn. We ain't going to let these get overripe. Y'all, when it was time for me to pull the tomatoes, I had a mixing bowl with me, a medium size. And that mixing bowl was full. Full to the tippy top. And I said, oh my goodness. I said, I knew y'all could do it. Y'all did it. And I told my dad, see? So, in a way, I had won. And my dad, he still showed me as in good sportsmanship by me winning the unofficial bet that I'm still gonna get you that dollar, so to speak. And that's what he did in his own little way. And I was laughing about it because I was just as tickled. That is my rotten tomato growth story, so to speak. So, I'm saying I told that story for this reason. Just because something looks messed up on the outside, you gotta know its value. You gotta know what it can do. You gotta know what you put in is what you get out. I understood a tomato plant, especially one that's already done came about. And I knew that even with it being replanted and growing, that you could have you some good tomatoes. And darn it, they were good. And men, listen, what you put into a woman, even if she looked like she has had a troubled past, even if her past has been good, what you put into her presently is what you would get out. Women, this is a moment, even though this is Tales of a Woman, I'm going to drop some 411 on you. What you put into a man, good or bad, is what you're going to get out. So if you're dropping good, you will get good. If you're dropping bad, you will get bad. If you're dropping good and you get bad, it's time to take a look at what's going on. And if you can't figure it out, then it's time to look at some options. Not saying stepping out. I'm talking about options within the two of you. Same goes for you men. Alright, so we're gonna move down. If you're paying attention, I'm moving from the head to the toes per se of our body, figuratively speaking. So this section, I will call it intimacy. I mean, hey, it's the start of it, right? Tales of a Woman. How does being intimate plays a valuable role? Okay. You in a car. You can't sit in a car and say, "Car, go." You have to stick a key in the ignition and crank it up. Stick the key in the ignition, crank it up. Let's stop. Woman, it's a thing called foreplay. How does foreplay play a valuable role? Some women says that they likes to be talked to in a certain way during a foreplay, or touched or caressed or kissed. Men does too. But see, sometimes I've heard men say that the female could not peak like she wants to, like he wanted her to. What was going on prior to all of this? Was her mind stimulated prior to the intimacy? Because if there was a heated argument, if there was things that was going on, if there was a lot of stress, if there was a lot of things that was not on the better side of good, then no. Your foreplay is going to be off. The intimacy is going to be so low, it's not going to be there. Okay. Are you going to love on the woman's mind? Darn it, did she go back up to that mind? I told y'all that mind is very important. Are you going to love on the mind? Are you going to make love to the mind? Are you going to caress, hold the mind? Are you going to say sweet nothings to the mind? So what you gonna do? Because all of those things I was just asking is to keep gate to the floodgate, if you following me. You want to try to figure out what is the golden key to open the gate code. It's the mind, then the heart, then everything else follows. Because you can have the body of her fantasy, but if you ain't loving her mind right, in her head, you have a mind and a body of someone that she used to know. Mind is something serious. So, are you gonna make her feel like her intimacy nature is too much for you, or it's not enough? Now, that one part right there, I most definitely will be doing another podcast on that part. I don't want to elaborate on it on this one. So trust, stay tuned. It's a lot of parts of this podcast I will be coming back to doing other podcasts on. So, my thing is, how are you going to get the image that she wants in her head? And how's she going to do it for you? Sometimes I've heard men say, she won't do what I want her to do, what I need her to do. But you can't shut down her sexuality. If it's too much for you, let her know. She might have to there's something different. You have to take its course. Allow your woman to be her in the bedroom. Allow her to explore herself, explore you. And some of these questions you're asking and trying to figure out, I guarantee you won't have to do it. Because you is allowing nature to do what it do best. All right. I think, I definitely dropped a lot on you all. But, as you know, this will be a to be continued. I'm not going to say a part 1, 2, 3. No, just to be continued. And I truly, truly hope that my lovely ladies, the lovely fellas, everyone who has been questioning things in this nature, that this had enlightened or shed some light on some of those questions. And check out my podcast. Not only this episode, check out my other episodes. Share your comments, because you can comment on it if you're listening to me on Spotify. Download, like, share. Share to your friends. Find your favorite episode, share it, and say, I think this is something you could listen to. And spread the word. Because it's a movement, y'all. And I thank each and every one of my listeners for tuning in. I had to check it out. I got listeners in 25 countries that are listening. Thank each and every one of you all. And to each and every one of you all that are listening in 25 countries, anytime you're listening, share my podcast with a friend. Let them know what you're listening to, because it could be something that they would love to listen to. And for doing that, I will be forever grateful and thankful for you. Check me out not only on Spotify. You can listen to me on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, on iHeartRadio, on the internet where you can listen to podcasts. To the blind community, you can look me up on your